Welcome to Love at First Phase Change, a cooking show all about chemistry. Today's episode is about donuts and features Natural gas can be found in many homes as a fuel used for stoves and ovens. Natural gas is a mixture of many different gases, but the two main gases are methane and ethane. Methane constitutes about 95% of natural gas per mole, and ethane constitutes approximately 3.2%. The ethane in natural gas has more energy per mole than methane because there are more bonds in an ethane molecule than in a methane molecule. Therefore, there is more energy stored in ethane, which makes ethane a more powerful fuel. Both combustion reactions are exothermic. Methane and ethane are both gases at room temperature because the attractions between their atoms are weak. The atoms of a gas have a lot of kinetic energy because as their attractions with other molecules disappear, they no longer have to share their energy. In a combustion reaction, the energy released is from the moving atoms as they slow down in order to form bonds. The atoms must release some energy in order to form attractions. This causes the products to have less potential energy than the reactants because the energy is stored and not being used by the atoms to move quickly. Some of the energy released is given off in the form of heat. This heat can now be used to cook food. We use the combustion of natural gas to release the heat energy needed to melt butter and heat cooking oil.
Baking soda, or sodium bicarbonate, is a salt compound that is made by combining a strong base with a weak acid. When we added the cider vinegar to the buttermilk and baking soda mixture, the compounds reacted. These reactants release carbon dioxide as a product. This carbon dioxide forms gas bubbles in the dough, which causes it to rise or licken.
When making donuts, the tertiary structures are destroyed when exposed to heat. Canola oil heated 360 degrees Fahrenheit is a perfect oil to use because it can be heated to the point needed and not be flammable. Once the gluten, glucose, and gliadin are denatured, or the dough, it is reversible due to the tertiary and tertiary structures breaking. In other words, the cooked donut cannot go back to dough form.
Canola oil doesn't add flavor to food, so cooks use it as a neutral tasting cooking medium. Canola oil is good to use in cooking because it heats well without burning. This is because it is not used in its pure form. Instead, it's combined with an alcohol like methanol or ethanol. This makes canola oil a biofuel. Its smoke point is 230 degrees Celsius or 446 degrees Fahrenheit, and the flash point, which is the point where a substance can ignite, is 290 to 330 degrees Celsius or 554 to 626 degrees Fahrenheit. Canola oil is not flammable, it's combustible. Alcohol helps the fuel ignite and burn. This produces some carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide, but not enough to be dangerous.
Heat transfer is when energy is moved from one substance to another, a process that takes place in all types of non-raw cooking. Heat always transfers from the hotter substance to the cooler substance, meaning that when food is cooked, assuming that the pan is hotter than the food, heat will transfer from the pan to the food rather than from the food to the pan. When we deep fry donuts, heat is transferred through convection. This means that heat is transferred on heat currents in the hot oil. On the other hand, if we were pan frying our donuts, they would be cooked through conduction, the direct transfer of heat from the pan to the dough. Donut lore is full of stories about how donuts got their distinct shape, and perhaps the most compelling is a direct result of the heat transfer process. Because food cooked by convection, conduction, and radiation tends to cook from the outside in, deep frying presents a challenge. Often the outside is fully cooked and may even be burning before the inside gets finished. However, because donuts have a hole in the middle, there's more surface area for the heat to transfer into the donut, allowing the food to be cooked more evenly.
We all have a cultural connection to the donut because some historians theorize that it actually was first created in the United States. They also believe that the first donut was created by Dutch settlers who made other sweet desserts such as cookies and pies popular.